unknowing yet of fate or not.
First as foes and side by side they'll forge a bond none can divide.
Oh, storms of Codra, sands of Kerashes, bear witness to this tale momentous. The war of Darrak and Ishmaroth, a saga carved in fate's own cloth. In the square where festivals gleam, where cobblestones hold every dream, here begins our tale so wide, where those in need look far and wide. For three lone men with paths unknown, a bard whose voice can chill the bone, elf whose shadows hide his heart, and Ishmaroth, a force apart. Alone now stands the mighty brute, his comrades lost their paths acute. He stirs the crowd but slips instead upon a dwarf with spinning head, so drunk he cannot rise or see. Let me buy you some soup, says he. For what is a dwarf if not kind to the lost? Let none say Darrak shuns the cost. They march to the tavern bonds have forged, where Darrak's laughter boldly surged.
He calls the waiter to soups, I pray, but grins with mischief eyes at play. The barbarian drinks and grimace shows, for never has he cursed his nose as much as when that broth he tried. By gods, what swamp did they boil inside? Darrak erupts in hearty cheer, while Ishmaroth's rage draws near. A match of might the brute demands, a challenge made with shaking hands. None beat Darrak, save Darrak himself. They clasp their arms with pride and stealth, their foreheads drip, their muscles strain, but soon the dwarf has claimed the game. Your father's a fool, the brute then cries, but silence falls neath Darrak's eyes. My father sleeps in the mountain's light, dare you drag him in this fight? The tavern cracks in bursting flame, as fist and stools all stake their claim. The dwarf steps close, the brute holds ground, then throws a punch, the world spins round. Down falls Darrak still with grin, while Ishmaroth feels the weight of sin. But then the tavern doors swing wide, and hush returns with heavy stride. Another dwarf has entered now, with eyes like Darrak's furrowed brow. The brute blinks twice, it cannot be, swears he's seeing double three. And yet the elder dwarf does smile, and Darrak laughs upon the tile. Aha, he cries, my father dear, he's traveled far to join us here. Now tell me, friend, what could be finer than a dwarf who's also a smith and miner? With glowing pride he nods his head, and Darrak's father steps ahead. There's a tournament soon upon this square. You must attend if you so dare. Darrak stands and takes his leave. The brute remains, his thoughts to weave. I am Darrak, says the elder plain. To beat my son brings little gain. But should you think you're strength enough, then prove it when the trials get rough. He turns to go, but not before the brute reaches out once more. The old dwarf holds his eyes intense and simply says, "Not yet, commence." The brute then gathers all his band and journeys to the smithy's land. There finds a dwarf with sweating brow, a hammer swinging to a vow. He too looks like the one before, a third Darrak, or maybe more. "Welcome," says he, "I'm Darrak, to all iron needs come passing through." He scans the group, elf, bard, and beast, the very same my son once graced. Well, coin is coin, and I don't ask if you're on king's or outlaw's task. Ishmaroth, though puzzled, still feels drawn to one blade on the sill. A battle axe so fierce, divine, oh, to call that weapon mine. What's its price? The brute does ask, as if it were a simple task. The dwarf turns slow, his voice sincere, with eyes that shimmer deep and clear. "Give me the stars that light the sky, make kingdoms kneel and banners fly. Even then you'd fail to pay, for this blade shall never stray." This is third Zaran, ancient flame, the frostbird's pride, the honored name. It howled in storms, it danced in fire, it stood with Darrak's never to tire. The barbarian begs, but the smith declines. Some blades he knows outlast all times. Darrak returns and with a grin, need help with something else within. The brute just nods and turns away, back to the inn where warriors stay. Night is long, sleep never comes, his mind like war drums loudly drums. The stage is set, a clash of might not soon forget. Ishmaroth joins, the late he came, yet asked for chance to earn his name. "Six shall face you," cries the call. He nods, prepared to beat them all. Come forth, brave souls who seek the test. Face me now. silent as the tomb, like Telebrand priests beneath the moon. Then like Uskar's thunders roar, a voice bellows from the oaken door. I'll fight you, lad, for honor's flame, so none forget this warrior's name. I am Darrak, son of Darrak, heir to flame, and in the field I learned that claim. The brute goes pale, he knows that face, the dwarf who once had scorned his grace, the father of the friend he prized, who once his challenge had despised. Not my son, he'd once declared, his path is marked, his soul is spared. He shall not fight with nameless men. He's bound for fate's own higher den. But Ishmarath was blind, was deaf. He missed the weight of what was left. The fight begins, for foes they meet, two savage beasts with iron feet. Oh, rains of Telebrand, skies of Eldivon, you watch this clash so fierce and hard. Darrak and Ishmarath, side by side, send foes like leaves on autumn tide. The crowd erupts, the victory near, but joy, alas, turns cold with fear. For something stirs within the brute, a dread that grips him stark and mute. The night is long and sleep again avoids the hearts of thoughtful men. Ishmarath finds his friend next day, but Darrak's words seem far away. He looks worn down, not battle's breed, but burdened by some inner need. The brute confused speaks little more, and soon departs to meet the war. like steel. The crowd's sharp breath begins to feel. Thunder echoes in the sky, while storm and steel and sparks do fly. Both warriors match in flesh and bone. In skill and strength they stand alone. But one must fall as all fights go, and soon the tale will reap its woe. Darrak steps close, then whispers low, a phrase that chills his friend like snow. I am the victor, win or die. This fate was sealed, don't ask me why. How so? Cries Ishmaroth, we've just begun. But Darrak coughs, his time is done. I am Darrak, son of Darrak, blood runs true. A Darrak's fate is battle's due. And then he fights with blazing flare, with shield in hand and steely glare. The brute strikes hard with all his might, but Darrak does not yield to fright. Mountains crumble, oceans fade, even kings and legends wade. And as the clock doth take its toll, one Darrak slips, he pays the toll. A fatal blow, though not by will, just weariness that time did spill. Steel bites deep and silence falls. The blood now stains the hallowed hall. It's Ishmaroth holds his dearest friend, and knows this is the bitter end. You found it now, the truest pain, the curse that leaves no soul the same. Thus Darrak dies in silence proud, and leaves behind a breathless crowd. The brute falls down, lost in his wrath, and cries toward the Father's path. Is this the honor dwarves must prize, to cast your son 'neath bloody skies, to die for pride forgotten fast, to bury flesh with stones and past? The Father stands in silent gloom as mourners slowly leave the room. They take the body, march away. The sun now gone, the next day, his soul unmade, a shell of what he was displayed. Young and brash, with sight so blind, he learns what truth lies left behind. For every end begins anew, and every path has sorrow too. The trio's journey now is done. A ship waits at Caris. Ishmael has learned much here of battle, loss, and silent fear. Muscle is not strength alone. The mind must guide the flesh and bone. Alas, the brute, once proud and bold, was calm